we're going to attempt our very first podcast without the aid of a cup of tea.
Can we do it?
Flirting with disaster. I'm already stuck.
I was so thirsty. We can do it. We're professionals.
Don't know.
Hey, we just had a really nice guy in the studio. He said he listens to the show, says the production values are really good. And then I bigged you up big time and said it's all down to Ollie. I just show up and talk rubbish.
Yeah, well, me too.
It's kind of true.
But I know how to talk rubbish and push about 3 buttons.
Yeah. You're looking very brown today.
Am I?
What have you been doing?
I don't know.
October sun is suiting you.
I had a long bike ride the other day. Well,
Is that what it is?
longer than normal anyway. Perhaps that was it.
That's what the line on your head is.
Oh, yeah, could be that. Anyway, welcome to the Mallorca podcast.
Hello,
I'm Oliver.
everyone. Hello, I'm Vicky.
What's going on?
It's October and the island is having its second wave, as it were.
Glorious.
No, not the weather. The visitors.
Oh, yeah, well.
There's 350 people staying in a hotel in Calvia. Actually, it's Calvia Beach, it's Magaluf. And it's the ABTA conference. 350 delegates.
The Association of British Travel Agents, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm
covering it.
The governing body having is it a knees up or is it a proper?
It's a conference and a knees up.
Yeah, it's difficult to not have a knees up in Magaluf, isn't it? So you're they're here for a week.
No, 3 days.
3 days. Bet some of them are here for a week. And you're off to cover the Nikki Beach event this evening.
I went to the press conference this morning. There was a man there called Mark Tanzer, who is the chief executive of ABTA. And he was asked a question about whether or not he thought that Tourists Go Home, like the campaign that's been going on this year and last year, if it had had any effect on bookings. He said people are really aware about this issue, but no, it hasn't affected bookings.
I think what has affected it is just generally that people don't have as much money as they had a couple of years ago. We should also say that it's co-hosted with the Calvia Council, the mayor.
The mayor was there.
Whose name I can't remember.
He winked at me. I don't think he knows me, but he winked at me.
Well,
yeah, you never know. Might be on a promise.
Very good. Yes.
And so the first party is tonight in Nikki Beach, and they have another party tomorrow in Balneario Illetas, and then they have a third party on Wednesday. I think back at the home base, which is Calvia Beach Hotel.
It comes with its own pamphlet as well. It's quite extensive.
Yes.
They're going for runs on the beach in the morning and cycle trips to vineyards.
It's cute, huh?
I know.
I mean, I think there's quite a lot of British press here as well. So everybody behave yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to Vicky.
No messing around.
Meanwhile, talking about misbehaving yourself, I haven't seen them. The USS Gerald R. Ford.
Let's hopefully those things haven't crossed over.
The world's largest aircraft carrier is. I was going to say it's in town. It's a good few miles off town.
Is it that far away?
It's quite a long way. Apparently, they won't let it in. It's not generally good form to float it into a marina, partly because it's obviously an attack threat, although you really wouldn't want to fire anything at the world's largest aircraft carrier with 4,700 service people and loads of warplanes on it.
It's a poo machine as well, surely.
You're going to come very second best. But mostly they don't let it in because it's got 2 nuclear reactors on it.
Oh, that's what it is.
So, they don't want to, please don't park your 2 nuclear reactors in the middle of our town.
I was thinking about the heads.
The heads. Oh, that's nautical speak for toilet, isn't it? Right. Oh, I know that.
Oh, yeah, we've got to get in the mood this week. We've got some yachting things to do this week.
Anyway, so the servicemen here are on a bit of shore leave, so they've been off to Magaluf.
Service people.
Service people. What did I say?
Men.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that at all. Yeah, there's lots of different sorts of people on there, and they're in town for a few days after having completed NATO exercises in the North Sea. Yeah. They've been doing it for years. Not just this particular aircraft carrier, but quite a lot of US and British ships come here, and they quite often have a bit of shore leave here en route back from the Middle East. Although this time they came from the North Sea. So yeah,
we didn't get invited on though.
No, well, actually, there has been some protests. There are some people going, get this war machine out of our town.
Yes.
There's also been curious boats going up to have a look at it and then being told quite firmly to sling their hooks.
Off you jog.
Yeah, your dad told me once that he, back in the old days, a nautical man, he took his little boat and sailed it towards an American ship, and they were like waving and throwing baseball hats out. And as souvenirs, like, hey, yeah.
Really?
And then he tried it a couple of years later, and they said, "Go away, or we will shoot you." Slight change of policy. Well, there was an attack on a US boat somewhere a long time ago. The Hood, I think, was run by a little boat. So, and looking at one of these gigantic metal exploding machines, it's like you're going to come off second best if you're...
I've watched a lot of Jack Ryan movies.
What's Jack Ryan?
He's one of them CIA agent, played by all kinds of roughy-tufty American actors.
And the relevance to this particular story is?
American army always getting themselves into trouble somewhere.
Okay.
The military, I should say, not the army.
Welcome if you're listening and you're normally crew of the USS Gerald R. Ford.
I hope you enjoyed Mallorca.
They quite often, I don't know whether they do this time, but they quite often, when a large military presence from the US is here, they go off to Petra and have it's the old monastery in Petra, which is a town.
Why?
Well, because I went there once. I'm making this up off the top of my head. I'm remembering it off the top of my head. There's a monk, Serra, Juniper Serra, who is from Petra, which is one of the little towns in the central.
Isn't he the one who's supposed to have discovered America?
No, he didn't discover America. He was the first sort of Christian missionary in California. So he's effectively the founder of modern California. He's from Mallorca. I mean, he's a little bit of a contentious figure because obviously there were people already living in California.
Talking about discovering
Native Americans.
Talking about discovering America and Christopher Columbus and all that stuff. It's Hispanic Day at the weekend.
Oh, right, okay.
Coming up, October the 12th.
What are we supposed to do?
It's a Sunday, so any other Sunday, just the same thing. Watch Grand Prix and have lunch.
Yeah, okay.
Fair. But if it was weekday, then things would be shut because it's a national holiday.
Right. Okay. Yes, that sneaks up on me, that one.
And it's on a weekend, so it doesn't make too much difference to everyone. Also, this week coming up, we are doing the Super Yacht Charities Golf Day.
It's golf season.
Oh boy! And if weather's like it is today on Thursday, we better get extra sunblock on. It's so hot outside.
Sunblock and mosquito repellent if you're on a golf course.
Yeah, true enough.
We should stress that we are in fact terrible at. I was going to say we're terrible at playing golf. We've never played golf. We might be absolute undiscovered talents. It seems unlikely. We'll be charging around.
We're really good at taking pictures.
Teletubby land in little electric cars taking pictures.
I'm getting better and better at driving a golf cart each time I do it. Yeah. The first time I was in a golf cart, I had to get a man to drive me around because I was too scared I was going to drive it like it was going to fall over sideways. But I've realised now that you have to really go for that to happen.
But people do manage it.
I've not yet done
you haven't done it. No, it's great. We do it sort of every year, really. Well, I have been doing it for about 5 years.
It's our 5th year in a row shooting for these guys.
So we do their sort of photos and videos. And
their social media on the day.
Yeah, and we've done it with other golf tournaments as well. Yes. I think we're just doing the one this year, aren't we?
We're only doing this one. There aren't any others that we're being invited to, but I think we did Pinmar 3 years in a row.
That was epic.
And we've done, there was another one that was a 1 day and then a 2-dayer.
I don't know anything about golf, but I did get the opportunity once to drive my little electric car round a golf course in the company of Paul Lorry.
Yeah, he's lovely.
He was a delight. He won the Open Championship about 57 years ago or something. probably in the 90s, something like that. And he was the sort of celebrity turn, and he was going around. He was absolutely delightful. So and he was very, very polite in putting up with in answering as politely as possible my really stupid questions about golf. So I learned lots about golf, which I immediately forgot. But I learned it from a very good source.
Good news.
What?
99% of Mallorca holiday lets that were classified as illegal are in fact legal.
Right, that worked well, didn't it?
It's in the paper. A significant part of the holiday rental sector is being, in inverted commas, criminalised, it says. The Council of Mallorca maintains that virtually all of the properties classified as illegal holiday lets by the Spanish Housing Ministry are in fact legal.
We should point out that...
Hang on, I haven't finished.
Go on. Mm-hmm.
Out of 1,341 on accommodation websites, only 12... according to the council, are illegal. And they probably know which 12 those are.
Yes. Well, yeah, they are. I mean, we should put this in context. When Airbnb and the other kind of similar sites,
Booking.com
some people renting out their own property, it had the same effect as it had everywhere, which is to take a lot of local rental housing stock out and push the prices up, and also often create a bit of a nuisance in a neighbourhood. You know, residential neighbourhoods that suddenly find they've got holidaymakers in all the time. So I know it's happened in Palma. So they have been trying to crack down on the illegal ones, and they thought they'd found loads of them, but it turns out they haven't. So lots of them are
It's
illegal.
Interesting, though. That means that everyone's following the rules.
Or, yeah, I guess so. Which is
It says the tourism department argues that the confusion has arisen due to the entry, it's all about paperwork, entry into force of a royal decree which established the obligation to obtain a unique registration number, an NRU, in order to advertise accommodation on websites. The Housing Ministry has denied this registration to some properties in Mallorca and the Balearics, but that have not obtained the number because they did not meet legal requirements. The council insists these homes are legal as they have the council's permits.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's back in
one department disagreeing with the other.
Yeah, it sounds like it. But back in the sort of good old days, people were buying up apartments and then renting them out, and I guess probably not paying much tax on the rents and all of that kind of stuff. So it's good that they're kind of cracking down. It's also next to impossible to get a license if you haven't got one already.
It says here, the tourism department believes that a significant part of the holiday rental sector is being criminalised when it is in fact operating legally and in accordance with regulatory requirements until now. This is the funny bit. All they need to do is to update the new documentation that is now required. All they need to do, if anybody who's tried to update any documentation in Mallorca will know, all they need to do is a phrase that will just make you shiver to your bones.
It'll take you 3 years to do it.
Yes.
Talk to Milford Solutions. They'll probably have it.
That's it. I'm just like, we could wave at Becky at the moment. She's over there in her office and looking out the window. Yeah, talk to Becky.
Meanwhile,
get it fixed.
Theatre stuff.
Theatre stuff, yes.
You're our theatre correspondent because I don't know anything about it. So,
well,
it's Jason Donovan, who is no stranger to these islands at all, is he?
Taking his picture. He's on the front of our website.
He is, isn't he?
He's on the Phoenix Media Mallorca front website. I took pictures of him when he was up having his din-dins with his mum at Nama restaurant in Dea. And he just happened to be there, and he is a good friend of the owner chef.
I've met quite a few people who've met Jason Donovan, and they all say he's absolutely delightful.
He was very nice.
Yeah, we were like, we're not taking your picture, or we don't.
Yeah, no, I was like, walked in and was like, oh look, oh, and I said, is it okay? And he's like, yeah, mate, it's fine, no problem. And it was just cool. I didn't like hang around and be weird and geeky or anything, but I've got a nice couple of pictures of him and the owner having a good time.
I guess he must have a house here.
Yes, that's why I think that he was there. But he's touring with the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and they're going to be here in a couple of weeks' time.
He is Frank.
Are you coming?
Frank Nfurter.
Frankenfurter.
I am probably. I've never actually seen. Oh, do I have to wear suspenders?
Yes.
Do I get to wear suspenders? In public.
You could go as Brad.
Sorry? I don't know.
You could go as Brad if you don't want to go as Frank.
I don't know anything about it.
You've never seen the movie?
Yeah, I've immediately forgotten it. I think I've seen lots of crowds coming out of it with people wearing lingerie, mostly in appropriate ways.
Not certain of my legs are ready for stockings yet.
Mine look great.
Yours look good in stockings, do they?
Is it taking the fifth where you don't want to incriminate yourself?
I've seen you dressed up as Mary Poppins before, but that was a long time ago. Different kinds of stockings.
My legs have improved. Anyway,
you might need to shave them.
I'm looking at the article here, and I can't find the date of when he's in town. It says October.
No, it's coming up the week after next.
Is it? So I guess we're going, are we?
I am. I didn't know you wanted to come.
Neither did I. Anyway,
you might enjoy it.
I'm sure I will. Right, we have an interview for you today.
Yes. With the legend that is.
He is a legend. Des Mitchell.
We you know what? My first ever radio show, ever solo radio show, Des was in the room.
That's pressure.
It was actually. I cocked up big time. I was like all over the shop with my buttons. I couldn't get anything with sliders. Couldn't figure anything. I was just shaking because he was so sweet. He had no idea that I was really nervous. And when I went to do the interview with him, when he came in, I did the same thing.
He's great. Des is. He's got a very long CV, hasn't he? He's 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 a music guy, isn't he? Really, he's a DJ. He's a musical creator.
But he's a pioneer.
He's a pioneer. He worked for the BBC in his native Birmingham, but he's been in Mallorca, I think, for nearly 40 years, hasn't he? Now as resident DJ at BCM.
He's the sound of Magaluf.
He certainly is, and he also. I don't think I've ever seen him not smile. He's a tremendous guy.
He's a lovely person, and he has a great story, an inspirational story to tell us. Actually.
Anyway, so here's Des to tell you all about Des.
Today's guest is a true legend of the decks. From his roots in Birmingham radio to global club residencies, Des Mitchell has been moving dance floors for more than 4 decades. You might know him for his chart hit Welcome to the Dance, but here in Mallorca he's best known as the DJ who defined an era, from BCM Super Club nights in Magaluf to hosting daily drive time shows on local radio. We're going to talk about his journey through the BBC to the Balearics, the evolution of New York's nightlife, and what it means to build a life and a legacy on the island he calls home. Welcome to the pod.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, Des home.
It's very nice to be here. Thank you very much. I'm very well, thank you.
How does it feel to be introduced like that?
That was very nice, actually. A lot better than I've had in the past.
You're a legend. You are the legend.
Oh, yeah. It's a funny thing to talk about that word, but I kind of get it. So there's a lot of DJs. I did reminisce in Liverpool 3 weeks ago, and there was a lot of DJs. I've done reminisce for the last 5 years, might be 6 years. So every time I go there, there's always lots of DJs who always pointing the finger, and so I do get used to that.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of DJs that have played BCM there. Judge Jules, Tor Paul, Seb Fontaine, they're all there as well. And they make a fuss, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So
Really nice. So you started out in Birmingham
I did.
with the BBC.
Actually, no, I started out in Birmingham doing clubs first.
Ah, yeah.
Yes, I was doing that.
Much to the annoyance of your dad. He wanted you to be a bus mechanic.
Yes. He didn't like me doing the DJ thing at all. It was definitely not something that my mother did, but he didn't.
Where it's from?
Jamaica.
And they come over to the UK in the 50s.
They came over. My mother brought me over. I was nearly born on the boat, apparently.
No way.
Yeah. Which he still likes to reminisce and talk about. Yeah, I mean, nearly have you on the boats. I was like, really? So yeah, she's still alive, 95.
Hello, Mama.
And she's in Birmingham and she's fine. So
95's good age.
it is a good age. And every time she asks me how I am, I always say, Mom, if I'm one day after you, I'll be fine. So
Oh,
yes, so that's the way I look at that.
that is nice.
Yeah. And I talked to her and she's still very coherent, and she still wants to be a mother. Point the finger.
How many of you are there?
A lot.
She's got a lot of children to control.
Yeah, well, there's 6 sisters. I lost a brother in 2004. Yes. So, yeah. But my sisters are all good. I speak to them. We talk on camera, especially when they're with mother and all the rest of it. So it's good.
So you stay in touch with your family?
Yeah.
So tell me about your start in the business. You said you started in clubs.
Yes, I was doing clubs, reggae and soul clubs, sometimes 2 together. And that sort of started taking me around the Midlands and Shrewsbury, Shropshire, Stratford-upon-Avon, Leicester, Loughborough, places like that. Working men's clubs as well, I was still doing them. And the funny thing about doing those was you had to contend yourself with those working men. Because that was
rough, were they?
Yeah, that was a different thing. And each time I went to play a working men's club, I used to be, thinking to myself, one day I won't have to do these no. Because I always got the same kind of greeting. All right, mate, what do you want? My name is Des Mitchell, and I'm the DJ this evening. You can't be the DJ this evening. You're black.
Oh, wow.
It was that brutal.
Blimey.
So, I said, well, it's definitely me. Which also gave me more power to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
And I'd leave the place with them going, oh, you're really good, mate. You got to call back. So, yeah.
So it's just sort of build up a reputation from the beginning.
Yes, I did.
And fight against some ridiculous stereotypes. So. Especially if you're playing soul and reggae. I mean, come on, you're surely playing to the capacity there.
Well, like I said, when you did working men's clubs and social clubs, you were playing more chart pop. I remember particularly there was a record by Nazareth called My White Bicycle, and that was always asked for, and people would come up and literally say to me, "Can you play Nazareth My White Bicycle?" and do that. Yeah, so it went. I was like,
you do?
I was like,
You played the song.
yeah,
Did the job.
yeah, yeah. I just thought, well, one day. I just kept thinking one day, and then that day came. The BBC contacted me. They'd been talking to record shop guys, Summit Records and Don Christie Records, and they had put my name forward and said, if you're going to do a radio show, you need to speak to this guy. So they got in touch with me, and I said, how did you get my number? Because I remember being ex-director at the time. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Darren, I remember the blissful days of ex-directory when nobody could get hold of you. But you was actually pretty fancy if you were ex-directory.
Yeah. And then they said, we're the BBC. If we need to find a number, we can get the number. And I thought, oh, okay. MI5. So I went in and did a recording on a Thursday afternoon at BBC Pebble Mill in Birmingham. And I recorded a 40-minute slot of soul, funk and reggae. And I said to them, they had a reggae show before and it had been going for years. And I said, yeah, but I think you're missing a trick here because a lot of the youth at the moment are going for a lot of the soul tracks that are going about. So I'd like to include that in the show. Loose Ends, Chaka Khan, stuff like that. 5 Star and all the rest of it. So I started doing that. And I went away after the Thursday and I got a phone call on the Monday. The show went out on the Sunday. I got a phone call on the Monday saying, we really like the show. Would you like to come back and record another one? And I did that for 4 weeks. And then I didn't get a phone call. So I just kind of thought, oh, well, that was nice. Thanks very much. I had a good time while I was doing it. And they phoned me on the day and said, are you not coming in today? And I said, I didn't get a phone call before. And they said, no, we want you to do the show. So I then travelled into Birmingham, did the show. And then they said, right, next week, you were doing the show from Handsworth Park. I said, I beg your pardon?
Where's that? Explain that.
It's a huge park in Handsworth, and they did Handsworth Carnival there.
Okay.
Which was all reggae and soul.
Like an outside broadcast.
Yes. But I didn't understand any of that. So I was like, I'm sorry. They said, yes, we're coming from Handsworth Park next week, so we'll see you there about 2:00 and we'll get set up and the show will run at 4:00. And I went, oh. And of course, having recorded the show for 4 or 5 weeks and learning how to edit and cut, all of a sudden I was being thrown into a live situation. So I found that a little bit, oh, okay. There was 11,000 people there.
Whoa!
So, and I think I was 22. Yeah. But that was my first big audience. And I just remember looking in awe at the audience and going, wow. And it became quite nice, refreshing, lovely. Because people wanted to see who the guy was. I even had people coming up to the DJ stand and going, what time's Des Mitchell coming on?
You were looking at him.
And I said, I'm Des Mitchell. And they were like, but you're black? I was like, yes.
Again.
Yes, I have. But this was black people that were saying that.
Oh, that's even better. That's better though. Eh?
Yeah.
Like representation is important.
Yeah, so they said, you speak really well. I said, thank you very much. So
Speak really well.
that's what they said.
Okay. So you got you landed a really kind of cool niche job.
Yes. I was still doing the day job, and doing the radio as well, which was great. And then I started getting bigger bookings and getting paid more. And there was a guy in Birmingham called Tony Bing, and he was a sort of promoter, agent guy. I've done gigs with Tony before, and he said, "Listen, I'm going to take you under my wing. I'm going to look after you." And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Don't worry, don't worry." And he got me some amazing shows. I was going down to London to present awards for Reggae Awards, for Aswad, Soul Awards for Loose Ends, and things like this. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was really good. Being put up in a nice hotel, and yeah, it became a really good part of my life.
So that, which decade was that then? The 80s?
This was from 1982, or was it 8? Yeah, 1982. I joined the Beep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did 4 years for them, and then a friend of mine called Kevin Waterfield. He was a male model for Foster Brothers and Burton's.
Oh my goodness. I used to work as a sub assistant for Burton.
Oh, okay. And he used to come to the club where I worked, Christopher's American, which was a massive club in a place called Wall Heath, which was in the countryside, basically. For us, it was the countryside, and it was beautiful. And the guy who owned it, his name was Chris, of course, Christopher's American too. And I became the main sort of soul funk DJ on a Thursday night. And Thursday night was my night, and it was brilliant. We packed the club out, 1,500 people easy every Thursday, and it was really good. And from there, Kevin came one day, and Kevin Waterfield, I should explain, he's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, really good-looking, suntanned, and he came in the club, and people would just go, "Oh, who is he?"
Ladies would go weak at the knees.
And I said,
I used to.
I go, "Yeah, that's my mate." And he said, "You've got to come to Tenerife." I said, "What you on about?" And he said, "Your cassettes are being played all over the place." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." And he said, "You've got to come. Just come and have a look. Have a holiday. Come and stay at mine, and I'll look after you." So I said, "Okay." So I did. I went to Tenerife for a holiday, and it changed everything.
Really?
Yeah, it really did. First of all, the sun shone.
Yeah.
And
Not somebody you see that often in Birmingham.
definitely not. And I think for me, I remember the first couple of days sitting on the beach, and I was with Alison, the mother of my son at the time, and she just wanted to lay there and get brown, which she did. I'd never done that before, so after about an hour, I said, "I'm going to take a walk," and ended up going for a walk all over the place. Los Cristianos, Las Americas. I went everywhere, and I really, because it's different. I've never done that. I travelled up and down Birmingham and up and down the country. I've been to Wigan Casino, Northern Soul Dancing. I've been down to, the South Coast. I've been to Brighton, but I'd never been abroad.
Ever?
No.
That was your first time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to an asthma clinic in believe it or not, in Switzerland, and I didn't want to go, not realizing how beautiful Switzerland was until later on in life.
Not a very sexy option, the asthma clinic.
I was like, I don't want to go there for. So yeah,
So you fell in love with the sort of Spanish lifestyle?
I absolutely playing football with the kids, and they used to call me El Negro on Los Cristianos Beach, and it was great.
Yeah.
I really took to it.
Well, you said that this Tony?
Tony, yeah.
Yeah, you said that Tony said that your cassettes were being played everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it was,
how was that happening?
Kevin,
Sorry, Kevin.
I gave him my cassettes, and he was taking them to Tenerife, and they were being copied and being played about.
Oh, by the other DJ.
By other DJs, other bars, other clubs. It was amazing. So we went out. We went to Tramps in Tenerife, and there was a DJ there called Marcus G. We're good friends now. And Marcus, he was very flamboyant, suntanned, the tinted blonde hair flicks.
Do Did he have all the sun in? You know, that kind of like stuff he used to spray in your hair.
Yeah, he had all that. He had all
Bit of
that.
a kind of like George Michael vibe.
Yeah, he'd wear a vest. He had a tramp's vest on, and he'd have oil on his arm, so he was all shiny. Yeah, now it's cringe, but then, you know, he looked cool. Everybody kind of went, you know, you got to go and see Marcus G. But my first evening in the bar, I sat there and he said, on the mic, he said, "Did you know there is a DJ that's on this island that's come to take my crown?" And I remember kind of ignoring him because I was kind of thinking, well, he can't be talking about me. And that was my honest opinion. And there was a guy called Gary in the bar. Gary outside, he's passed away now. And he came over and he put a stool down and he said, "He's talking about you." And I said, "But I don't know him." He said, "But he's talking about you." So he said, "I'd like to offer him a chance to come up and prove himself." And I looked at him and I said, "You are talking about me?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Look, I'm here on holiday. I'm not here for any DJing. I've come to take a break from DJing.
I haven't brought any gear with me. Got no tunes.
So," and he said, "Well, you know, let me get a selection of tunes for you so you can use." So I said, "You know what? Okay, do it." So I remember he got out a copy of James Brown, Sex Machine.
It's a good start.
Yeah. And what he didn't realise was I'd been doing the Scratch Mix DJ Championships. And I'd just finished my first one, which was 1986 at the Hippodrome in London.
Oh, I knew that club very well.
Yes. So I got James Brown, and where it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, I started scratching it. And then cut it, let it go, and then mixed in Janet Jackson. And then I picked up the mic and I said, "My name's Des Mitchell. I'm over here on holiday from Birmingham. I'll hand you back over to," I'm sorry, I really don't know your name. So that was that. I left the bar. The next day I was sitting in what became Bobby's bar, and I was sitting with a guy called Alfie O'Neill, Scottish guy, and he said, "Marcus is looking for you." And I said, "The DJ from last night?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "No one's ever done that to him before." He said, "And he's looking for you." And he came in the bar and he said, and he sat down opposite me and he said, "I need you to teach me what you did to me last night."
Wow, how cool.
And I said, "I beg your pardon?" He said, "What you did to me last night," he said, "you need to teach me." He said, "So that I can do that." He said, "Because that was amazing." And I went, "Oh." I said, "That's not what I expected." So, and that's how I started making.
It was a bit more like brothers rather than competitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by, you know, if I skip forward, by the time I left Tenerife after 4 years, I put 6 DJs working in Tenerife, all playing the same sort of tunes that I was playing. I'd come back to UK, and Bob Christie was one, Steve Welsh was another, Paul Crawley was another, Paul Sykes, we called Psycho, his name was Sykes. I was another, but everyone started playing really good music.
Yeah.
You know, Janet Jackson, Chaka Khan, Loose Ends, Maze, you know, and it just became fantastic. The Fatback Band. And for me, I got used to meeting a lot of people from London because I didn't realise that London moves to Tenerife in the summer. And that's what I learned, that they were all in love with Luther Vandross.
Oh.
Johnny Luther Vandross, money. And it didn't matter which Luther Vandross, they just wanted Luther Vandross. So I started doing a sort of 20-minute set of Luther Vandross. So then everybody started going, "You got to go in tramps because the guy in there just does a Luther Vandross set and it's brilliant." So that's how I started making my name, by just doing these different things.
But I do think that people kind of like maybe don't understand. It's like you're not just putting a record on. You know, there's a lot more goes into like just creating what you're doing than just sticking a record on and lifting it and putting a new.
No, those days had gone. It was definitely about the mix and the continuation of the track. And if you could do that and talk over it as well, then, especially if you didn't interrupt the vocals, because that's very important.
Yeah.
Which is what I still teach today to DJs if they ask me. I'll only teach DJs now if I'm going to teach them on the mic as well. I won't just teach somebody to mix. Because anyone can learn to mix. Not everybody can learn to say, hello, my name is.
Yeah, I think that interaction with the audience is important. And
I think it's very important.
One of the things that really set you apart, isn't it? Actually, hello, people.
And a lot of that's been missing just lately, especially, I'm going to say BCM because, but the times I went in there this year, I found it very, very sad, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. They had a group of residents and not one of them spoke on the mic. Some of them were terrified to speak on a mic. It was baseball caps, black T-shirts, black and head down and, no.
It's a kind of whole new generation where everyone just stays in their room and doesn't interact with anyone else. Is that where we're going?
I think so, and that's terrible. When Terry Cameron brought me to BCM, I said to him, well, where's Mallorca? Because I'd never been to Mallorca. And he said, we're in the Mediterranean. So I flew to Mallorca. I came for 4 days, 1989, June. I know it was June because I'd been in Canada for 6 months, DJing and playing there and having skiing fun and snowboarding and all the rest of it. And then I came back and Joey Bobby's bar said, there's a guy who's been phoning for you. His name's Terry. You need to speak to him.
Because this is well before people having their own phone numbers.
Yeah, it was
just it was
they phoned the bar.
The wing and a prayer. Leave a message. Can you leave a message? Get him to ring me back.
So he'd ring the bar. He's going to ring back tonight at 7:00. So I'd be there. And I said, where are you? And he said, we're at a club in Mallorca, blah, blah, blah. But he never told me about the club. So Tenerife never had big clubs. There was Prismas. That was the biggest they had in Las Americas. And it was the people that owned it were the Borridges. They were Welsh and they had a Spanish partner. And I ended up working there. But I found it really too easy. Because it was one of those clubs where...
Challenges. Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It was one of those clubs where it was very, very nice, very pretty. People just came there, dressed up, bought champagne, and danced to whatever music was being played. And if it was dance music, they were happy with that. And I thought, there's just no challenge here. Very nice. I got paid and all the rest of it. But then when I came to Mallorca and I saw BCM, I thought, oh, hold on.
We have to describe BCM to people that don't know about it.
Right. BCM is a humongous club that can hold, I'm going to say at the time, 5,000 people. But what a lot of people don't realize is that downstairs there's another room that held 1,500 people. And some nights down there, you could get 2,000 people down there as well. So they really used to break the limits on the doors, but it was all done in the best possible taste. So I've come to Mallorca. They had a DJ team, which was Armando, Zafin McKean, Javier de Palma, and Paco Bellucci. I still do gigs with Paco Bellucci. We just did the Payensa White Party.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which was great fun. For Saturday.
DJ Grandad's.
Yeah. So that was good fun. There was Juan Campos there as well and myself. So yeah, it's nice that we still have this connection. But what I noticed about BCM was this DJ team, this is 1989, remember, they did little dance routines.
The DJ team did?
Yeah.
Like entertainers and butlers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And they said, are you going to learn to do these routines? And I said, I'm a DJ. I said, I make them dance. I said, I'm sorry, no. But apparently they'd been doing this in Arenal in Campastilla for years before. So when he made BCM, the idea was to transfer all of that from Campastilla and Arenal into BCM. But of course, it was already dying out. So I started DJing, and of course I brought my scratch mix thing to BCM. which the DJ team weren't keen on, but the crowd loved it. I can remember a Spanish guy running up to the DJ box and going, esta música te puta madre. So,
Yay. Translate that.
and I said, they seem to like it. So
You're a bit of a disruptor then.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah. It wasn't the plan, but it was kind of, I look at it as I was leading rather than following.
Definitely.
There was a reggae record many years ago that used to say, always be a leader, never be a follower. And I always took from that. So I always wanted to lead.
Reggae philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did. Speaking of reggae, one of my best interviews I did with a reggae artist was Rita Marley.
Oh, yeah.
I spoke with her for 3 hours and we just rested a mic on an ashtray and talked about Bob in the studios, and it was amazing.
It must have been a huge privilege to meet her.
It really was. I was very honoured. Yeah, good times. Yeah.
So what made you stay in Mallorca?
I think Mallorca is a beautiful island, and what everybody was saying to me in Tenerife, some of the guys had already worked in Arenal in Compostela, and they said to me, "You'll love Mallorca. It's finished." I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "Here, you've got a name of a club painted on a wall and a light shining up the wall. In Mallorca, they got neon." And I said, "Okay." But when I came here, of course, it was true. It was, the roads are finished. That you didn't drive down the tarmac and then go into a dusty track like you did at Tenerife. Excuse me, I need to cough. So yeah, it was just a beautiful island. Before they put the little balls in up and down Punta Baena,
Oh, yeah.
you could drive up and down.
Yeah.
Because they drove me down Punta Baena going past Bananas, Tokyo Joe's, and I said, "Yeah, we got Bananas, we got Tokyo Joe's, we had a Heroes." And then they drove around the corner and they said, "You haven't got one of them, have you?" And they pointed to BCM, and I said, "That's a nightclub."
Wow.
And
It does look like a warehouse from the other side, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
huge.
it's huge. And I thought, there's no way this is a club. And but I was amazed and I was impressed. And my first night, I was thinking, I can do something here. Looking at what this DJ team was doing, which was old hat.
Needed a refresh.
Yeah, nobody was doing anything new. Excuse me.
Have some water.
Yeah, so that's what I felt I brought to it. I brought music. I brought the technique. Yeah.
What would you say the atmosphere was like then in its heyday?
BCM was the best club in the world. Throughout the 90s, I would say it was the best club in the world. We had from Danny Tenaglia to Armand van Helden to Pete Tong to, again, Torpor, Sip Fontaine, Judge Jules, Lisa Pinup, Faithless, Basement Jacks, everybody came to BCM. Sasha, 92, I remember Tony Palma buying Sasha tickets so he could go to Madrid and see Michael Jackson. And he came back after seeing Michael Jackson and played another 2 nights in the club.
Oh, wow.
So lots of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. And because it was a time when you flew into Mallorca, you flew in on a Tuesday, you couldn't leave until Friday or Saturday. So there was a lot of that. So DJs would say, "Can I play tomorrow night?" And Tony would say, "I have a DJ coming, but I'll play you as well." So, and he'd go, "Des, can you make some room?" "Yeah, all right."
Oh, cool. So where were you living? Where did you stay?
I lived in George Best's old apartment.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did, in Eden Rock. Yes.
Oh, did you leave anything behind?
It was a 3-bedroom apartment that he had knocked into one. So it was huge. The bed was on a stage, 3-step stage. It was very...
Wow.
Yeah, it was...
Mirrors.
It was bachelor orientated.
Was there leopard skin?
No, there was no leopard skin.
Was there dimmers?
Yes. There was dimmers. One of the coolest things, I'm going to say the coolest things, was if you were watching the TV in the living room, okay, take from this what you will, but if you went into the bedroom, you could turn the TV off from the bedroom.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
But,
George Best as well.
and I used to meet him down at the Baraka.
No way.
Yeah, most days. He used to always be at the Baraka where Claude still had it. 8 to 9, and I think a little bit of 9 to, yeah, but he was always around there, and he'd always say, "Oh, how are you doing, Des? How's the department?" Lovely, George, thank you. And it was one of the best feelings in my life to be talking to this legend.
Yeah.
When Wayne Lineker opened Lineker's, it was Wayne Lineker, George Best, and me that walked into Lineker's to open it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's, those kind of...
You're quite a big football player yourself, though, aren't you? An amateur. You love your footy.
I love my footy, I do, yes. Yeah, so, so it was a good time. It was a fun time. You go in the club and there'd be Peter Powell standing there from Radio 1.
Oh my gosh, now you took it. Mr. Powell?
Yeah.
Does he have a cardigan slung around his shoulders?
No, but he'd always wear a nice white shirt. I always remember that.
He's very clean cut.
Yes, very. And he was always, "Hi, how are you? How you doing?" And I used to be like, "You sound like you're on the road." Yeah, exactly. So I was always, Graham Souness would be in the club, and he'd come to the Baraka and he'd say, "Oh, Des, caught your show last night in the club, very good." And I'm thinking, these are just huge people to me.
Yeah.
And the fact that they paid attention. Yeah. It was a fantastic time. Yeah.
I think if you've grown up after that in that kind of era of everything's available all the time, it's all in our phone, we can just get what we want when we want, you kind of don't understand the value of those experiences and how special they are.
That's sure.
Because it was much rarer, wasn't it, to be in those kind of environments?
Oh, for sure. I mean, when I got my first gig in Austria, for example, there was two guys standing behind the BCM DJ box drinking champagne. It was 1990. And to see two guys standing behind the DJ box at BCM drinking a bottle of champagne was quite a rare thing. And I kept looking at it as if to say, what are they doing?
Yes.
And then one of them brought me over a glass of champagne. And I said, "Thank you very much." I said, "This is not something I do regularly, but thank you." And he said, "We have a club in Austria called Atemlos, which meant breathless." He said, "We'd like you to be the DJ there." So I said, "Okay, how do you want to do that?" And they said, "Well, we'll fly you there and take care of everything." And that's the first time I got a major gig in a beautiful club in the middle of the Austrian Alps. It was in High Zurs, and Charles and Di came to the resort the same week I was there. So that's, again, it was another part of my life that was changing.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking, Charles and Di have just walked past the bar.
What?
Yeah.
Pinch me. Mama? Did you ring her?
It was quite amazing.
Yeah.
And I was this black guy in a really top end resort. And I knew it was top end because when I came back, I remember talking with some people that were friends of Terry and Debbie Cameron. And they said, "Oh, what'd you do the winter?" And I said, "I was in High Zurs." And everybody kind of went, "What?" And I went, "Is that good or something?" And they went, "That's like the best skiing resort in Europe." And I went, "Oh." And I was there for 3 months DJing, and people were just blown away.
Did you get the chance to enjoy where you were as well as DJ?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So did you get on some skis?
I got on snowboards.
It's a bit cooler.
Yeah. I'd learnt to ski when I was in Canada, but I wasn't very good with it. And I'm a water skier, and I'm a very good water skier. So balance on a board just seemed favourable to me. And Oliver Hartinger, that was his name, the guy who owned the club in Austria. His cousin was a top snowboard teacher. So I said, I want to learn how to snowboard. And he opened a door one day in his hotel room, and there was like 10 snowboards in there. And he said, take your pick. And I said, oh, okay. So that's how I learned to snowboard. And I still snowboard.
Cool.
Yes, very cool. And I had dreadlocks as well at the time, so it just all added to it.
Oh, yeah, because you had hair once.
Yes, I did. I had a lot of hair. Yes.
I mean, how do you, apart from being talented at what you were doing, what would you say are the things that like helped you to achieve your success?
I think remaining calm, trying to think before I do anything. I did used to be headstrong, very headstrong, and I used to snap. I remember that. And what changed me from that was going to Japan. It's the most beautiful country I've ever been to in my life. And I say this right now, and I've said it for the last 25 years. If I had a contract to go there tomorrow, I'd be on a plane. It is amazing. It is the best place I've ever been to in my life. And whenever DJs say to me, where's the best gig you've ever done? I always say Velfari in Tokyo. It's phenomenal.
Why? Why was it the best gig?
Well, the club was very futuristic. It was 3 levels. It was open. They had the biggest mirror ball in the world. They had the biggest TV wall in the world. They had a camera that came out and would do 380 degrees, like literally filming while it was doing it. It was just, everything was just like
big tech.
And again, I would say to myself, this little guy from Birmingham is in Tokyo.
Show me the buttons.
They built a DJ console with just for the club. It was never put into production. It was just for this club. They spent $40 million on this club.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was absolutely
Is it
good.
still there?
No.
Oh.
I know they turned it into a smaller club, and part of it got sold off into something else. But the funniest thing about that is, after I did it a year, that was 1994, I went out there. 98, they had a small refit. And they phoned me up and asked me to come back for another 6 months. And I said, absolutely. So I also did a club in Nagoya and a club in Sapporo. So I had a good time going backwards and forwards there.
Well, what was it about being in Japan that taught you not to snap?
Because I learned from other people there that they don't snap. Everything is very cool. Everything is talked about. Everything is, please do not worry. We will take care of everything. Case in point, they sent me to Guam for a holiday because I needed to renew my visa. So they said, we send you to Guam. It's like Spain. That's what they said to me.
Guam?
And Guam is like Spain.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. It's very warm. Beaches, people playing volleyball and basketball. And I was like, it's like Spain. Only lots of Americans and lots of Japanese. But I had a great time. I remember the cleaner coming in the first day and saying, is you the only person in this hotel room? And I said, yes. And they said, you must be rich. And I said, no, the company's paying for it. They went, oh, so you're special? And I said, I'll take special. Thank you. That's cool. Yeah, so, and they had a club there. They had 2 clubs there. One was called Onyx, and the other one was called, what was it called? Anyhow, I went to Onyx, and the DJ announced my name, that I was in the club, and I was thinking, how do
they know?
Well,
do you have a badge?
What had happened was, in Valfari, we did club CDs because they were owned by a record company. The club was owned by a record company. So you'd do a mixed CD and they would sell it. They'd always sell 300,000 copies.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was like. And this club had got the CD and there was a picture of me in the club. And I was like, okay, that's me. Which I've still got a picture of that, actually. Actually, I think I might have it on the phone. Let me just see if I can find it, because it's a very cool picture.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. There you go. So that's Valfari, Tokyo, with
Oh my goodness.
me and John Robinson.
Look at you. You're looking like too cool for school. Are you gazing off into the middle distance there to be like cool?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Thoughtful. Because I've taken a lot of pictures of you, Des, and they never look like that. And you're all in it.
Now,
Take your pictures.
I'm always smiling now.
Yeah.
I think I learned to sort of be more smiley.
But maybe you just became more confident in yourself as well. Like,
Yeah,
how
definitely. I
much
think so.
bigger could it have got than being in that massive techno club in, look at you, techno club in Japan? You were like, that was the tippity top, sure.
It was amazing. Like I said, it's a $40 million club. They'd come to Mallorca and asked me to come there. I turned it down at first. I said, I've never been that far. Incidentally, that's Tatsumi, and I still speak with her.
Good.
Um,
Nice.
so yeah, it was just an amazing, not only an offer, but to be there, be a part of it. It was fabulous. And I was so proud of myself, just for like, what are you talking about? I mean, the hottest country in the world for technology. They have a place called Akihabara, and it says Akihabara on the train sign, and underneath it in brackets it says Electronic City.
Oh, wow.
I was like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
And all your tech that you want is there. And it's a town. It's like walking around here. It's a town, and it's all tech. Whatever you're thinking of, they've got it.
So you go back there in a heartbeat.
Oh, for sure.
I'd love to go to Japan. Not to play in a big club, but because I just feel like it's such a different culture and really interesting. Like, it has a lot of similarities, I think, to the English class structure.
It certainly has.
It has a lot of status, a lot of what's the word? Status levels and like behavior that you have to follow. It's very rigid in lots of ways.
Very,
Beautiful as well.
very beautiful. If you go to Yoyogi Park on a weekend, that was just amazing. And cherry blossom, but when they say they celebrate Sakura, it's called. When they celebrate cherry blossom, they really, really do. It's quite amazing. I had guys wanted to be my friend because I was English and they could learn from me. And I was thinking, why do you want to do that? And they say, your English is very good. We want to learn better English. And I was like impressed by that.
Yeah. Did you manage to speak any Japanese? Did you learn any?
Nihonji wakananai.
What's that mean? What's your name?
Which is
Boyfriend.
I don't know, it's I don't really speak Japanese, but I learned to say domo arigatou gozaimashita, which was thank you very much, and thank you for this evening. I learned to say that. What I learned very quickly was if you say something like that, they appreciate you more, and they will speak English to you rather than speak Japanese.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay,
Because I guess when like the part of your style is to talk.
yes.
So like being in a different country, a wildly different country, and doing what you do was quite a challenge.
Well, it was all about what I learned from John Robinson. He'd been there 12 years. He's still there. He's got 3 kids, and what I learned from him was he was a star in Japan. He'd done sort of 9 albums, and people worshipped him. And what I learned from him was that to do the show was everything. I was like, wow. So I quickly got into that. I got into good evening and welcome, welcome to the place, and it worked. It was what they wanted. They want the show. They want the change and the transfer from working life to going out at night. We had a 500 locker room for ladies, so they could get changed to go to the club, and then when they finished going to the club, they could change and go home.
Oh.
Yes.
So they'd wear club clothes and then going home.
Little shorts and little boob tube t-shirts, and then 1 o'clock in the morning, go and put on their Chanel suits and say, see you next week.
Is there anywhere in the world that you haven't played that you would like to do that you haven't had the chance?
That I'd like to play, no. I've played Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong. I've done most of Asia. I've done across Europe. Yeah.
What about any festivals that you've lectured on?
No, do you know what? I'm not a great fan of festivals.
You're funny that a lot of friends of mine in the music industry say the same thing. What is it about festivals? Everyone else loves them.
I'm not a fan of festivals. I love Reminisce because the guys that put it on are friends of mine. They used to come here and they used to play bananas and I used to go up and have a drink with them. And they said, we're going to do a festival. It's going to be called Reminisce. And, you know, they were true to their word. And it's become so big. It is amazing. I mean, they had 40,000 people there. There, you know, five tents. I do the Woodlands area, which is all open air. Fantastic. Let me just show you that because
Getting back to nature.
yeah, it's brilliant. And everyone just has a really, really good time. It's one of the best things that I do now. But as for going to play, you know, Tomorrowland or anything like that, not one interest. I have not one interest in that.
Let's talk about your hit, Welcome to a Dance.
Okay.
Did you feel a lot of pressure to follow it up when it went so big?
No, the thing I wanted to do with Welcome to the Dance, I wanted to make a record that I could play in BCM. Because everybody that was coming to play in BCM was going, oh, I've made this new track. See if you can play it. And I thought, I want to do that.
Yeah, I want one of them.
So, and they were all leaving me their records.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want to do this. And what had happened was Spencer and Gillen, which was some Belgian DJs. Johan Gillen, I got him a job in Tokyo at Valfari, and he stayed there 2 years. So as a thank you, I had a week in their studio.
Oh, to record?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, and they were quite technical anyhow as they were. So this is Reminisce.
Oh, wow, that's huge. And you're having a good time. Oh, yeah.
So I absolutely love it. It's probably one of the coolest places you can play. Just
you have to be weather friendly, huh? Don't want to be out there in the
you know what?
rain.
We've actually avoided the rain the last 5 years.
Oh, very lucky.
Very lucky. I don't know how. I don't know why.
It's in the UK.
Yeah, it's
Which bit is it?
Liverpool.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but we've avoided it. It's been really good. To get back to Welcome to the Dance, it was I'd always played certain records in BCM, and I've always said that bit in that track would sound great if it was in another track, you know. And so I had a collection of tracks, vinyl tracks, that I took to the studio with me. And I said, right, I want the bass line to sound like this. And I played the bass. Dun, 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 dun. You know, I didn't want a drum roll. So that's why there's a hi-hat roll. Yeah. And if you listen to part one, you hear it. People go, why didn't you put a drum roll in? I go, because everyone puts a drum roll in. Which, you know, it's a big thing.
To be different.
Yeah. And it works. So, you know, people were coming to BCM and I was going, see if you can play that when you're on your travels, see if you like it. And Graham Gold came to play and he played my record from a copy that he bought in a store in London. So I'm standing in the DJ box, he's playing my record, and I'm looking at him and I went, you know, you're playing my record. And he said, everyone's playing your record.
Oh.
I went, really? He said, your record's taking off, like big time. And I said, okay. So, and then I got a phone call from Polydor and they said, can we speak to you about the record? To be honest, at that time, I'd got Remy, my dog, a Siberian Husky. And I said, right at this moment, I'm cleaning up dog poo, so can you phone back? And they said, we're serious. And I said, yes. Oh my, I'm serious. Phone me back. I said, my dog's doing crazy things.
There's a bad situation in the house.
Yeah. I lived in Solda, Mallorca at the time, and I was up on one of those, 3-floor houses.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
It's not amazing, it.
yeah.
Is it one of those?
I was on the roof anyhow with Remy, and he was just making a mess of it. I was like, oh, what do you do? So that was that. And then Alex Gold called me from Extravaganza. I sent him a copy of Welcome to the Dance. He said, oh, I'm not so sure about it. He said, you made this with Johan Gillen? And I said, yeah. And he said, yeah, Johan told me about it. He said, but I'm not sure. And I went, okay. He said, is anyone else interested in it? I said, yeah, Polydor. And then Warner's came in and they said, we want to sign your record. Get on a plane, come and sort it out. So I went, oh, because I didn't know that part of the industry, but I've got a friend who does.
We always need a friend who does in those situations.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I met Steve Wolf. He used to be at Cool Tempo Records in London. And the day I met him, the record had just gone #1 dance around the world on Music Magazine.
Come on, Des. That's pretty cool.
So we met in a cafe bar just round the corner from Warner Brothers. And he went, so how's it going? And I said, yeah, things are fine. I said, I think you should have a look at this. And I put the magazine down. And he looked at the chart and he said, where am I looking? And I went, at the top. And he said, well, we haven't got to get the boxing gloves out now, have we? I went, is that good? And he said, that's very good.
The negotiation chips just got a bit better.
So, yeah, they did a deal.
Because that's also like just before Spotify started.
Yeah.
So you didn't have that kind of like streaming situation. You actually got a proper contract.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have a copy of it.
Hey.
I do. Yeah, it's nice to see my name there.
You're not tempted to do more?
Yes, that's going to be my plan this winter. I'm actually burying my head in the studio because I'm not going to Maldives.
My second summer, as I called it the other day. Because anyone who doesn't know Des will not know that he goes to Mallorca for the summer and the Maldives for the winter and always rubs it in.
14 years.
So, yeah.
14
There's that lovely Facebook post for you to tell us what beautiful sunset you're enjoying when we were all sitting around the fire.
Yes. So this year...
Why are you not going to the Maldives?
Because I took some time off and the people that took my place to do the Maldives, Martine, who's the boss, has offered it to them again. And she has told me, she said, look, I've offered it to them again. They've taken it, but I would definitely want you back here next year, 2026. So I said, I can stand that. So because of that, this year I'm going to go to UK.
Him see your mama.
I'm going to see my mama, definitely. And I'm going to do some new tracks, new studio stuff. I want to do a little studio course so that I'm a bit better at putting things together.
Oh,
I'm okay.
it's good to keep learning.
Yes. So, so that's
Do you
my...
want to work with live musicians, or do you want to like program it, or what do you want to do?
Programming more than anything.
And like vocals?
There won't be vocals, yes. I've already got some vocals that I've been putting together. I've been collecting vocals. I know some vocalists as well. There's a lady in London called Sharon, who I've worked with for years, Sharon Argety. Actually, I met Sharon when she was 17. She's 40 now. And she used to work for Gordon Phillips at Hollywood's in Romford.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and he said to me, the day we were in Hollywood, he said, she can sing, you should take her to the studio. So that's how that started. My first release with her was Let's Stay Together, which sold very well on a Belgian record label called Soul Heat. Let's Stay Together featuring Sharon Argety. Des Mitchell featuring Sharon. Have a listen, man.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Check it out.
It's a very nice track, that was.
So what's the plan? Do you have a record company interested in what you're going to do? Or, I mean, like the industry has changed. So are you going to release it just generally, or how are you going to do it?
Well, I've got a small label of my own now. It's called TMP, The Mitchell Project. Yes.
I didn't realise that was a label. I thought that was just your
It wasn't in
vibing name.
Yeah, it was just a logo before.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine, Andre Jacobs, my first recording in a studio was with him, and we did it in Mike Gray's studio before he became Mike Gray.
Yeah.
And he had a place called the White House.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, you've been everywhere.
I've been around. And so Andre came to me at Reminisce 2 years ago, and he said, "I've got a small label that's not being used." He said, "In fact," he said, "our first recording was on that label." He said, "Why don't you take the label?" He said, "Give it another name if you want to." He said, "But when you do new stuff, put it on there."
But when you say label, I mean like company. Is that
Yeah.
what you mean?
Yeah, so you can,
Like a limited company or something else.
yeah,
It's like
I can
free
release,
business.
yeah, I can release tracks under my name on this label. And there's nobody to go, "Oh, we're not sure about that," because I'm the person
Yeah.
going, "Oh, not sure."
You do us.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's what's happening. We've already released Welcome to the Dance on the label.
Uh-huh.
The original versions are put on that label. They came out 2 years ago now, I think. And they're selling. They're selling.
I thought it's like, how do people buy music these days? I mean, like, what kind of formats will you buy it in?
I'm very fortunate. I get sent a lot of music by my email. I'll show you what I mean. So if I press on that, you can see that, and then it goes to the track.
So you can just play it as it was.
Yeah.
Email to you.
And then you sign in, and then you can play the track.
Yeah.
I get tracks sent to me every day. There's just promos,
Yeah.
promos.
Because people want you to play them.
And it starts from the time when promos used to be a vinyl thing.
Yeah. Or a cassette.
With a cassette.
Yeah. Or a CD.
Yeah, or a CD.
All physical things.
Yeah.
That we could carry around.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's all gone. So, because we used to get people coming to BCM and go, "Oh, I'm from Chrysalis Records, I'm here for a few days. What's your biggest track at the moment?" There's none of that anymore. So I feel it's all fell by the wayside a little bit.
It's hard, I imagine, nowadays for like emerging artists to really get attention. I mean, that all comes down to like building an audience before you've even got anywhere. You can't just fling out something and hope that the audience of a DJ is going to catch it. Like, do you remember what was his name? It was absolutely legendary DJ, but it wasn't playing kind of dance music. He was playing all kinds of things. He died he was.
Oh, was that John Peel?
Yes, John Peel.
Yes.
And his show was just like hit and miss. You never knew if he was going to play something like Gold Dust. It was absolute crud. You never knew. But
he would play all sorts. Yeah. He would play reggae, the lot.
Yeah. And if you got played on John Peel's show, I mean that was he was like a tastemaker.
Yeah.
Who's around now that does that sort of thing?
Well, there was a female DJ that did, but she's retired as well. I remember Zoe Ball playing Welcome to the Dance and invited me onto the station to
Like her.
So I had to fly into London, and I remember meeting her. She met me at the door, and she said, "I really like your track." And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah, you're doing Newsbeat as well tomorrow, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." They said, that might be a bit more serious.
Newsbeat for the kids.
Well, Newsbeat was a daytime thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the woman's interviewed me for Newsbeat, all very serious. I've been, I was right on point. I was very respectful, very charming, all the rest of it. Finished Newsbeat, gone off air, and she's gone, "I was dancing to you in BCM till you get, you were amazing." And I said, "Why didn't you say that before?"
Well, because she can't. It's too corporate.
Exactly.
I think maybe these days people might be a bit looser like that.
I think so.
Well, it's hopeful then. Like maybe next year there'll be new Des Mitchell tracks up.
I'm hoping. Yeah, that's the plan.
It's like taking lemons and make lemonade. It's like, what can I do with my winter of Maldives?
That's exactly what I'm
Will you be sharing sunset videos of Birmingham?
Probably not.
Because everybody will be like.
I mean, I will tell people that, look, I am not in the Maldives this winter. I am here in the city of Birmingham or down in Essex somewhere, or at a studio in Croydon, or. But yeah, so I will give people the opportunity to go.
I've got a question for you about Mallorca's musical identity, because Ibiza obviously has like a huge style, and people like really identify it with the club scene. But do you think Mallorca has that?
Unfortunately, no. Mallorca has a club. Oh, you have to excuse me. Some more.
Get some water in you.
Yeah, Mallorca's club sound is very Spanish. It never used to be. In the days of BCM, we were the leaders. And a lot of the Spanish DJs used to come and stand in BCM and watch whoever was on, Paul Oakenfold or whoever. But that's all gone now. So I find a lot of the Spanish DJs, they follow other Spanish DJs, which has always happened. But I don't think they consider themselves leaders. They just play their style of music. If everybody's playing, that style of house, then they'll all play that style of house. Nobody will break away from it. I know this. I played in BCM a couple of times this year, a few times actually, and my house that I was playing, the Italians were coming down and going, "Wow, you're playing better music than the guy upstairs." And I just say, "Thank you very much," because it was all very formulaic, is the word, yeah, and just follow each other.
So is it like a trend? Is it like a transition, like BCM and the other kind of clubs and the other places where you can go out? Are they going through a kind of evolution at the moment? Do you think? Can you see like something new coming?
Well, the big club in Palma that everyone talks about is Chaos, is it? Right. But they are having all the same names that BCM used to have. So no, there's no transition. They're just moving from playing in BCM to playing over there.
Yeah.
And of course, you always have those little arguments. If they played there, they can't play here. There's always that argument as well.
Yeah. Also, we're kind of mourning the loss of social as well.
Yes.
So that's going to get revived eventually.
I think the lack of PRs has been terrible, because you took 300 kids off the street basically, who used to say to people, "We're going to this party at the end of the night. If you want to come there, that's where we're going. Or we're going to BCM on Thursday night because we all go on a Thursday." So there was always something being chatted about and being told about. That's gone.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been replaced by influencers, has it not?
Yeah, who are all out for themselves.
Yeah.
So
Maybe the clubs need to rethink how they're marketing themselves. So,
I think so.
But the bottom line is like the product inside, which is the music and the experience, is going to be very memorable.
I think it should go back to being a club that you want to go to, whereas I feel that BCM has lost that. Yeah, I do. It used to be the club. You went in there, people would come to the DJ box and go, "Is there a guest tonight?" Because they didn't care, because they were in the club. Whereas now they're only going to that club if there is a guest. And that's what I feel is lost.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to get that back.
Well, the times that I've been in BCM, and I've never really been there as a punter, I've only ever been there to take pictures. It's been, for example, with you, with Steve Aoki, with some big people, big names. It's always been absolutely mental. Like, you can't think. It's so, the atmosphere and the ambience is just like intense. So it's a shame to think that maybe it's not got the same vibe. But if you don't have the excitement, then that's crucial to the experience, isn't it?
Well, I went the night of Fisher this year, and I went because 2 years ago I played with Fisher. I opened for him and I closed for him. So I thought I'd go and say hello, and he was very accommodating. It was great, but the place was absolutely jammed. To me, it was too busy, like over busy. What was interesting was that Fisher played music that a lot of people didn't expect. I mean, he played a Kylie Minogue song.
Which one? You remember?
Can't Get You Out of My Head.
Oh, I love that one.
But he did a mix. He'd done a mix of it kept it the same format, but he just put his trademark drum sound underneath it. So it was just really thumping, but it was Can't Get You Out of My... And I thought, wow. I thought, that's very clever of him being Australian as well.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah. And there's a few people that went, why is he playing this? And I went, she's Australian. He's Australian.
Yeah.
I said, it's called Support It.
And it's original. They haven't just like copy pasted somebody else's music. Yeah. Well, I hopefully like these things will improve.
I hope so.
Sure.
I would hope so.
But the market's changing.
It is.
The way we consume music is changing.
I'm happily waiting to retire.
Surely not.
Well, I'm 68 this year.
No way.
Yeah.
What did they say? What's it say? Black don't crack. That's it. It's true as well, is it not? I mean, like, there's no way anyone will put you even in your 50s.
I play in the stadium a few nights a week, and most of the audience in there are definitely over 40. So I've become a kind of visual for the over 40 ladies, which is very nice. So it's kind of like going full circle, When I do
Keeping yourself in good condition there, Des, has got to be said.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I do. And that's what's been pointed out to me in the stadium, which is very nice.
What is your secret to longevity?
I think baby lotion.
Cocoa butter.
Baby lotion. My mother covered me in baby lotion as a kid for years and years and years, and even today, I was coming out of the house and I kind of went, oh, I haven't put any cream on. So it's just...
Habit.
Yeah.
Take good care of your skin.
Yeah.
And good care of your body.
Yeah. I think I've done okay.
Yeah.
That, I can't play football this year, but I will go back to it. I promised my daughter that I would take a big rest from football this year. But I'm still riding my bike and...
Yeah. You arrived on a bike.
Yes, I did. So I'm still doing that, and I still go to the gym, and but I don't go mad anymore.
And I'm not saying you're old, but there's a word called welderly.
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 Is that cool?
I've never heard that.
Yeah, me neither. I'll write it for you. WELDER. Welderly. Yeah.
Welderly.
Like maybe double L. Welderly.
Okay.
Yeah. So instead of elderly, you're welderly.
Welderly. Right.
I mean, 68 is not old in these days, is it?
Well, the fact that I'm still DJing is a great thing for a start. I still upset DJs that are a lot younger than me.
Do you think that, like coming with the age also comes with the I don't give up, like you don't care, but if you upset somebody with your opinion?
No, I care.
Okay.
Yeah, I do care. If they don't want to listen, then that's fine too. So I've learned to ignore them. It's like, okay, do you want to be that way? Go ahead, and you don't want to learn anything from me. 9 times out of 10 they do come back and go, hey, you know what you said?
Yeah, Professor Mitchell, class begins.
There's a couple of the younger DJs that are in Magaluf that still, we sit down and we have a coffee and we have a chat, and they ask, some of them struggle to go through a season, losing a job or being told they can't play house music, they got to play in there, they got to play R&B music, and I've said to them, well, can you play R&B? Yeah, okay, do it with a smile. But always, when they ask you what you'd want to play, just say, I'd like to play house music, but for now, I'll do this.
I mean, there are some pitfalls, aren't there, working in this kind of industry? Like, there are definitely dangers and things that people can take substances, all kinds of other experiences that can be offered to you that are not necessarily very healthy.
Never done that.
I'm not suggesting that you have.
No, very proud of that.
But what I think is it's very easy to go, oh, I'll just try it once, or I'll just have a look at this, or maybe I'll just do this, and it becomes, one step leads to the next step.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm proud to say that I've got DJ friends that, have actually had arguments with people for me, little, because they've been upset because I've been offered something.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because they're like, how dare you?
Don't give it to Des. Des would.
So, which I've always said, oh, thank you very much.
It's like my daughter's at university now, and like drugs are very easily available.
Yeah.
Where she is in Manchester, and she told me quite surprising stories about ketamine use and all sorts of things. So there's like in the peripheries of all these different like young youth kind of lifestyles, there are definitely dangers as well, aren't there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's always someone somewhere in those type of circumstances, universities, colleges, nightclubs. There's always that one person. Oh, if you need any drugs, go and see him.
Yeah,
To which I've always said, I'm sorry, but I don't.
I'm good, thanks.
And there was a time I played a club in Zaragoza, and the guy who owned the club, he was kind of a small mafia guy at the town. And they give me an apartment. We've gone for dinner. After dinner, he owns about 5 different cafe bars around the city. Big posters up of me all around the city. It's fantastic. It was great. Yeah, fantastic.
Did you ever stand on the side one and point at it?
I've got a picture of me leaning on. Actually, the original record "Welcome to the Dance" cover is me leaning on that sign.
Okay, I'll have that off you later.
Yeah, and so we went to the second cafe like once I started taking the drugs, and one of the guys said, "¿Tú quieres?" And I went, "No, thanks." Then they didn't like me just because I didn't take drugs.
Mm.
And I thought, this is going to be one of those nights. I didn't play until 4 o'clock in the morning, which was, a long night because we'd had dinner and we'd been to all these different places and they were all doing whatever they were doing. And I was just thinking, oh, please get me to the club. But after I played 4 hours in the club. And when I finished, everybody said to me, that was amazing. Du bist phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank you very much. Du bist so machina. I was like, I'll take that.
Gracias a ti.
I'll take that.
It's like, to be honest, like I can't stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning any longer. How are you doing it? Coffee.
I think it's a little bit of willpower, but I still enjoy it. I still enjoy the night.
Yeah.
I enjoy sitting on the sofa as well, watching TV and falling asleep as well. So I'm quite happy to do that. And then, if there's a night where I've got to do a club, it's like, okay, here we go.
Do you have like a routine on a day when you're playing? Do you have like gonna have a disco, like an actual disco now?
Yes, I do try and have an hour before I go to the club.
Do you call it, if you got a special word for it, disown apple? So I just like, that's what you would call it if you were going out late, isn't it?
No, I don't have a word for it. I just have a sleep. I've got to have a sleep. I'm very fortunate I can have half an hour and I'll be fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just drop off at
I
in church.
Yeah. And I can wake up in half an hour.
No, really, I cannot do that. I'm like 10 minutes or 2 hours. There's nothing in between. Oh. So like, but then you're kind of like ready to rock and that's that.
Yeah. I think when I get in the DJ box, I'm ready to perform. I'm ready. Whether it be the stadium, whether it be BCM, whether it be a festival, to me, the performances, they're all the same. One person, 10,000 people, it's the same.
Just as exciting.
Yeah.
And important.
Yeah. I like people to look at me and go, wow, he looks cool.
Yeah.
He looks clean, tidy, professional. He sounds clean. He sounds professional. The whole thing.
It was so nice to see you on the stage this summer in
Soultown.
Soultown Festival. They said you didn't do festivals, but it's not really a festival.
That's not really a festival. That's playing.
In that cool venue, SHD.
Very cool. Fantastic place.
It was so cool. You were really playing the crowd.
I loved it.
I was like watching you, thinking, there he is. He's having fun. He looks so happy.
It was. I kind of planned my set because this was Soultown Festival, and it was the first time anything like this had been done. So I wanted to create a session that people would remember. And there was soul people there, but I knew there was people that had never been to a soul thing before.
Yeah.
Hence the reason when I did the little 15-minute mix, Flatback Band, Maze, Joy and Pain, it was nice to be expressive with all of that and get the people that knew it teaching other people. Excuse me. Which I did say before I started the session. I said, those of you that have been to a soul weekend before or a soul week before, teach the people that haven't. So it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your joy, though, on the stage was palpable. You know, you were so happy, and was like, I'm talking specifically about the bit where you were like with the station, you were like with the audience, you're like raising your arms out and making them do all kinds of stuff. It was really fun.
It was phenomenal.
And they wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like, and this sounds strange, but it's like you give people permission to have a good time.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what's lacking from the new era of DJs, like the ones that don't connect with the audience, don't connect with the people who are in there. They're not giving them permission to like, let's have a communal, fun time.
Well, saying that, in the stadium, because they do a lot of tribute bands, I found that before the tribute band go on, whether it be ABBA, Beatles, Motown, Detroit, doesn't matter, I found that people sit rigid, waiting.
Yeah.
And I've kind of tried to change that. I said, no, if you want to have a dance before the band, you're allowed. You're on holiday. You're not at home. You know,
you're out for the night.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
They're going to come on stage anyhow.
Yeah.
If you want a record played. So I think it was Tuesday night. I must have had about 30 people up dancing to Northern Soul.
Oh,
and one of these ladies came up to me and she said, how do you know Northern Soul? She said, your music's amazing. And I said, I spent a lot of time going to Wigan Casino. I was a very big Northern Souler and I still love it. I've got a good collection of vinyl. I've got a good collection digital. And she said it was phenomenal, really good. I thought,
that's from the past as well, isn't it? I mean, and that is really niche as well. Like Northern Soul, the very specific sounds that not people aren't necessarily familiar with.
No, a lot of people don't know it. A lot of people do not know it. So yeah, I'm very proud of that.
Okay, final question. What would you give as advice to a young DJ, a young Des Mitchell, for example, or a young DJ who's trying to make it in this industry? What would you say to them? Give them some career advice.
Well, first of all, it's very, very difficult world now. You need to have, according to everybody else, you need to have likes on Facebook. You need to have Instagram followers. And I find that a little bit tedious. If I owned a club, for example, I wouldn't care if a person's got 50,000 followers. I care if he's a good DJ. I care if he can pick up a microphone and say, hello, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, welcome to Tonight We Have. Because that was very important. And it's still important because you can't have a guest DJ without some kind of notice of who he is, where he is, or, you know, even Universe in Ibiza. I'm sure there's somebody that will introduce, unless it's Fisher or Carl Cox, you know, somebody will need an introduction because you're never going to know otherwise. So I think that's still very important. Yeah, for a new up-and-coming DJ, you have to learn respect, which I think as a lot of that has gone.
What do you mean?
Nobody seems to have respect for other DJs. They're all about themselves. You know, if I go to a new venue, I still, hi, how you doing? My name's Des. Nice to meet you. It doesn't cost anything to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas some people are just still blinkered. You know?
I think it's it's competition feeling, like they're in competition.
But if you're booked to play that club and you're on at 6 to 7, because most clubs you only play an hour now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You only get an hour?
Yeah, terrible.
Wow.
I know.
You better get going.
Yeah, that's all you get nowadays. If you're lucky, you get an hour and a half. But yeah, the days of the resident doing 5 hours, and that's basically gone, which is a shame. I miss those nights, you know, Tony coming downstairs and saying, the DJ's missed the plane. Yeah. You're going to be all right. Yeah. out comes another record box. So let's go. That's all gone. I taught Doc C, Rob Clark. I taught him to do that, and then he retired. Before you, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But I just feel that a lot of young DJs now, first of all, they've got to want to do it. If they want to do this business, I would help them. But they've got to want to do this business because it's not easy anymore. The days of it being easy have gone. You know, when I started DJing, I remember Emperor Roscoe doing a book, and there was 16,000 DJs in the country of the United Kingdom at that time. And that was 1979, I think. And the guy that taught me used to work for Emperor Roscoe, Johnny Newey. He taught me to DJ everything. And he opened my mind to Toto, Journey, you know.
Taste Journey, wow.
Yeah. But he would play Hall & Oates and Maurice Franklin and you know. So when you got in the van going home after loading up the gear, because I was a roadie, that's what he would play all these different albums. And so I got to know everything.
Yeah.
Mike McDonald, and you know, who was a Doobie Brother. I learned all of this from Johnny, and that's why my musical knowledge is wide. It's very wide. Again, you know, I'm very proud of that.
I do worry that I haven't exposed my daughter to enough music, but I did try. We have a thing on my Spotify on my Spotify account called Car Party, and it's got about 500 songs on it. We just get to obliterate like there's everything you can think of, from Missy Elliott to Joni Mitchell. So I'm trying.
But that's good.
I think that, you know, it's important to definitely listen to a lot of different music. And you should listen to the music that your parents listen to as well.
Well, you know, like I said, my musical knowledge is very, very wide, as you said, and vast. And you know, last night somebody said to me, "You wouldn't happen to have the Twist, would you?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." I said, "Sam Cooke." I said, "Oh, there's one with Chummy Checker." And they were like, "Oh, didn't know Chummy Checker done one." I said, "Yeah." Well, I said, "He did his Let's Twist Again, but he also did Twist and Night as well." And he was like, "Oh." So I like to be informative as well. It's just a little thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost anything.
So be curious about music.
For sure.
Be respectful to other DJs.
Most importantly.
You different? Be yourself.
Definitely be yourself. But if you've got something that others haven't got, oh, excuse me. If you, oh, it's still not. It's still there.
Do you want a tissue?
No. If you've got something that other people don't have, then that's always a bonus.
Flex on it. Be proud of it.
Yeah, for sure. You know, my thing when I DJ is still a white T-shirt now. I used to be multicolours, but for years I've been white T-shirt because it looks good against the black skin.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And also, you know what? From a photographer point of view, it reflects light onto you. It makes you a bit easier to photograph.
That's good.
You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't.
Oh, you just learned something. So if you shoot a white person with a black person, it's very hard to get the light balance correct.
Okay.
Because one person's going to be very bright, and the other person's going to be normal, or the one person's going to be very dark, and the other person's going to be normal. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. When I shoot you and Gordon together,
Yes, yeah.
that was difficult. I did it.
I was just thinking of that.
Yeah, but like that picture was like, I had to go. Like tested me that day. Wow. So that's a great picture, though.
It is a great picture.
Yeah.
It came off of my book face the other day, actually.
Yeah, I love it. Picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so, actually, I have one more question. All the DJs, apart from maybe 2 or 3 DJs who've spoken about today, are men.
Yes. Well,
how is that going?
now
is that going to change?
Now there's a lot of female DJs. The only problem with that is a lot of them are not very good, sadly.
Why aren't they good?
Pardon?
Why? Why are they not good? What's lacking?
A lot of them, I suppose, speech is non-existent. So they rely on their bodies. They rely on the sexual aspect of it, which okay, it's fine, but you shouldn't get fed up with that. That's just me.
Well, you want someone that's a bit more of a kind of sort of MC, and a presenter.
Well, like I said,
Going to give you the permission to have fun.
like I said, I worked with Lisa Pinup, Sister Bliss, someone, Lisa Loud, Anne Savage. They were great female DJs.
Yeah.
And they had something about them as well.
Yeah.
And they would come in the club and they'd be bouncy and, whereas I found a lot of DJs that are feminine now, they just seem to want to be, look at me, I'm gorgeous.
Mm.
And case in point, there's a DJ that's on Instagram at the moment, and she's doing all this movement like she's doing a mix, and nothing is switched on. So that's a bit sad.
Oh, we're going to tell you the David Guetta story then. I'm pushing the button. Honestly, I've taken pictures of Dave Guetta, God love him, and I find him extremely boring because he doesn't do a thing. He doesn't talk to anybody.
No.
He just stands there with his hand in the air occasionally.
Yeah.
And it's like he's not even made contact with the audience. If we're really talking about bad audience management, he's your man.
I don't understand how that became a thing. I don't understand. I mean, Carl Cox still picks up the microphone.
Yeah. Steve Aoki stands in the front of the stage, chucks cake at people.
And talks to people.
They love it. I've got pictures of Steve literally leaning into the audience, and the whole of the audience just gazing up at him, like so excited.
We taught him to jet ski, so we got to get his license.
He trains down the road when he comes down the gym. And he's a nice boy.
He's a really nice
man. A dad. Wow.
Yes.
But like those people are very different. They've got something about them, whereas I don't understand how David Guetta got so rich and so popular.
His productions, I suppose, were very good at the time. He hit the right moment.
He got the right USB stick. You put it in the right place.
Definitely. Definitely.
I think we better stop there. Thank you so much, Des, for coming in to talk to me today. We'll try to cut out all the coughing.
My pleasure. I hope it sounds good and comes out good.
It will. I think people would be very interested to know your thoughts on the DJ life.
If not, I'll have to come back and do it again.
Well, come back and tell us more about your music when you've made it.
Yes, will do.
I'd like to hear it.
Will do. Will do. Thank you very much, all. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I really enjoyed talking with Des, because not only like obviously the musical history and everything, but I really liked speaking to him frankly and like openly about the kind of racism that he came up against when he was younger, and then throughout his career he's had issues with people assuming that he wasn't the DJ and all kinds of things like that. So and the way he's overcome those prejudices, and he's just this stylish gentleman who continues to rock it out.
I think he's great.
I think he's wonderful.
I have nothing in common with Des whatsoever. I'm not a clubber. I'm not into the music. I just like spending time with Des. He's just a delight.
In the summertime, when we were taking pictures of an event, he saw me in the crowd, and he was on stage leading the crowd in some song and dance or something, and he waved at me. I was like, "All right, Vicky, all right." It was just like, it was so nice to see. It was like, that made me feel really special that he saw me and was like waving at me as well. So really, really lovely.
That's good, great. So, well, is that us from today, or what have we got coming up? We've done all that before the interview, didn't we? Really?
Yeah, we've done all that. So the next, we're trying to be on track, but boy, oh boy, October is
quite busy, isn't it?
October is whooping my butt.
Yeah.
There's so much happening. Like all these conferences and things happening. We've had your mum and dad, my mum, all these people have been here. Now we've got your friends coming. It's like non-stop. October, just take a moment.
Oh, and we're having a rare trip off the island next week, aren't we?
We are. I've even booked the flights.
Going to Barcelona if we can round up the money.
Barcelona. Yeah, we are. We're going to go see Counting Crows.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
We need someone to look after the dog.
Yes.
Anyone going to volunteer?
Sneak them in. All right, that's enough from us. Like and subscribe, all of that stuff.
Thank you.
All the links you need below, and we'll see you next time.
Ta-ra.
Hey, thanks for listening. Listen, we need your help. If you don't mind, would you please subscribe wherever you got this podcast? You can find it in most places, Spotify, iTunes, all the rest of them. Just click subscribe, and if you get a chance to leave us a review and you'd like to leave us a good one, we won't stand in your way. And something for you. If you'd like to get our monthly newsletter, then visit our website. That's Mallorca-Mallorca.es. That's Mallorca with a J, -Mallorca-ES. And follow the link there. And if you'd like to ask us a question, send us a DM to our Facebook or Instagram channels. And wherever you get your podcasts, if you see the show notes, you'll see the links for everything you need. Thanks for listening. See you next time.